Oh boy. Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ms. TV Total Football. Man, we really need to talk about Strasbourg. I haven't taken the liberty this season to talk about Strasbourg in detail. Then again, I haven't really watched Strasbourg in detail, so how can I actually say something? Look, for the first time, I actually watched the entire match against Crystal Palace in the Conference League. And I know it's just a one-off game, but I've seen clips previously. I've seen how people talked about Strasbourg. I have to say, this is a serious little team, and I say little with the utmost respect, because ultimately Strasbourg, they're not some sort of a European giant or anything. Obviously owned by BlueCo, which is also, owners of Chelsea Football Club. They are part of a sister club model, multi-club model structure. Any talent from Strasbourg is potentially looked at someone that can join Chelsea Football Club down the track. But this match, ladies and gentlemen, Strasbourg 2, Crystal Palace 1, not for a shadow of a doubt, do not even think that this is some sort of a small result. This is a huge, huge result. This is up against Oliver Glasner's Crystal Palace that has done a madness over the past couple of seasons. FA Cup winners, Charity Shield, Community Shield, whatever it is called. And Crystal Palace, as a unit, they're a very, very solid team, and they've got some good players all across the board, and they're well drilled. But Liam Rossignol of Strasbourg, I'm telling you, this guy's going to go places, I don't know how long he's going to stay with BlueCo and the Strasbourg project, but down the track, Liam Rossignol is going to look for a big job. I'm telling you, the Premier League teams, they'll be on the lookout. Teams in La Liga maybe will be on the lookout. Rossignol is doing a magnificent job, man. The way Strasbourg build up, the way they defend, the way they work off the ball, the way they work in the final third. There's movements all the time. There's little triangles happening all the time. The way he's managing young players, the way he's developing them, it's sensational to watch, man. We're going to go through some of the stats and some of the figures and players that are really standing out. Obviously, I'm going to touch base on the players that are on loan from Chelsea, Penders, Mamadou Sarr. I think Kendry Paes came on later on as well. Especially Penders. We're going to talk about that. Before all of that, though, praise needs to be made to Strasbourg, man. And then to Strasbourg fans out there, how do you feel now? Do you still feel annoyed being owned by BlueCo and still feeling like, oh, we're just, Chelsea's feeder club? Well, to a certain level, you are. But your fortunes have changed. I see that you're competing for Champions League position. As I said, we're going to go through all of the stuff very, very soon. You're second in the Conference League. You're beating teams like Crystal Palace that I'm pretty certain you didn't even think about in your wildest dreams. Plethora of talent that has been thrown at your doorstep, which I don't think you had this level of talent previously. And I know some of these players might not stick around, Emegha being one of them, Chelsea player down the track. I get that. That will be annoying, but you have to admit, Strasbourg fans, would you rather not be owned by BlueCo and dwindle in the relegation zone in Liga and don't even worry about competitions like Conference League? And down the track, you're probably going to make it to Champions League, So for me, look, Strasbourg fans, let me know your thoughts, but I think you should be happy. And Liam Rossignol, you're going places, my man. You're definitely going places, because your brand of football coming up against Oliver Glasner's brand of football, this is not a joke. This is not a joke, the way, Liam Rossignol has really, really showcased his talent on Crystal Palace and on Liam Rossignol. Now, let's have a look. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Strasbourg 2, Crystal Palace 1. Let me just give me just 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just do this again. Share that. Here we go. Brilliant. All right. Now, goal scorers, Emegha, lovely finish. First of all, obviously, Tyrick Mitchell scored for Crystal Palace. Brilliant work by Mateta, this guy is such an underrated striker in the Premier League. I don't know if he's really underrated anymore. I think a lot of the fan base, across many different clubs, they do realize what a sensational player Mateta is. How he's not at a top club, and once again, no disrespect to Crystal Palace, because I feel like Crystal Palace, you're doing a madness now. So Mateta, I'm pretty sure, would like to be at a higher, much bigger club down the track. Whether he gets that move in his career, I don't know, but brilliant work from Mateta to set up that goal for Mitchell, but then equalized by Emegha. Fantastic work done by Moreira, another Chelsea player once upon a time, but it's been sold to Strasbourg. And then right at the, not at the end, but deep into the second half, El Mourabet, who I believe apparently has started this is his first proper game or something against Crystal Palace. This was his introduction and he scored a winner. So look, let's go through some of these player ratings. As you can see, Crystal Palace, they had a very good team, very, very good team. Pinho, Mateta, Sa, Gihi, Lacroix, Henderson. In midfield, Hughes came off early. Adam Wharton came on. Munez, it's a very good team. But look at Strasbourg. Emegha, look, let's start things off with Emegha. Bound to be Chelsea player down the track. It's all done and dusted. Lovely goal, lovely finish as well. Good movement. But I do have to say one thing, and Chelsea fans, let me know how you feel. I don't think he's fully ready. I think he will struggle initially in the Premier League with the physicality and whatnot. I think he needs another season somewhere. Look, I don't mind him being, maybe a squad player, come off the bench and provide something and slowly but surely develop. I don't mind that one bit if he's okay with that. But I don't think he's out and out ready to be a starter for Chelsea Football Club, just for this pure fact that Premier League is a different beast. Nanasi, look, he's a very, very good talent, no doubts about that. And Ciso, another one, Chelsea ball, but I think sold to Strasbourg only to buy him back, I think, next season. He had a not so great first half, but a very, very good second half. But we all know about Enciso from Brighton days. This kid is a very, very good player. Fantastic playmaking type of a player. And I believe it was his free kick or his shot that led to that second goal. Don't exactly remember the second goal anymore, but of Mourabet. But I think it was Enciso's shot, which was then parried off by the goalkeeper, and then they scored the winner. Doué is a very, very good wing back, but Valentina Barco, this is a big, big talent that is brewing in Strasbourg at the moment. And I think this Argentinian, along with a couple of Argentinians that we already have, Enzo Fernandez, Garnacho, but this Argentinian, I think, could be breaking into the Chelsea team. He's an out-and-out Strasbourg player, but don't be surprised. And once again, coming from Brighton links everywhere. Well, we might as well at this moment buy Brighton as well. I think, look, I know we haven't officially done that transaction, but under the table, Brighton, you know very well, you are part of our multi-club model. There's no doubts about that. But Valentina Barco, know this name. Sensational footballer, man. The way he was controlling things in midfield, it was fantastic to see. Moreira with an assist. Look, he still needs to touch up on some parts of his game, but overall, very, very good player as well. And Mamadou Sarr, future Chelsea players on loan at the moment on Strasbourg. I like him. He's solid in defense. But the one that really caught my eye, ladies and gentlemen, along with Barco, obviously, but in terms of Chelsea connection, is Mike Penders. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Penders, the amount of saves he made, I think that rating does not do justice one bit. The amount of key saves he made was incredible. And his distribution, his commanding of the box, this guy, I think obviously he'll continue with Strasbourg this season. There's no doubts about that. I don't know if he's going to start for Chelsea next season, but he will be in the future a Chelsea goalkeeper. There's no doubts about that. I think Robert Sanchez, with the way he's going right now, is undeniable right now. He's absolutely undeniable, Robert Sanchez. You cannot knock him off right now. He might stick around next season as well. But Mike Penders, there's a serious level of goalkeeper, right? His know-how is immense. But yeah, look, check out some stats now. Strasbourg played really well, 60% possession as well. It wasn't possession just for the sake of possession. The possession was very good. It was attacking, and as you can see in the expected goals, 2.37. Strasbourg scored 2, 13 shots on total, 6 shots on target, 4 big chances missed. Or 4 big chances created, sorry. 2 big chances missed. I mean, Strasbourg, honestly, played a top game against a very good Premier League team. Now, let's have a look at the Conference League table. This is the Liga table. As you can see, Strasbourg are 5th. If you can make it to top 4, they'll qualify for the Champions League, and they're only a point away from top 4, and then they could potentially even look for 3rd or 2nd place as well. They're only 6 points behind. I think winning Liga is a bit too far-fetched. PSG will go and do that job. But Strasbourg doing brilliantly in Liga. Conference League, Strasbourg 2nd, equal points, 4 matches played, 3 wins, 1 draw. They could look to win this, and that will be huge for Strasbourg and BlueCo once again. So big up to Strasbourg for continuing to do that. Now, let's have a look at some of the, by the way, Ben Chilwell. How could we not talk about Ben Chilwell? Yes, Ben Chilwell came on as well just before halftime, I believe, because one of the other players, I believe the player was, let's have a look at that. I believe the player that was taken off was Doucouré. Yeah, I don't know how this guy ended up getting 7.1 rating. No, I don't think it was Doucouré. No, I think it was this guy, Højbjerg, I think. Yeah, he was taken off, but Ben Chilwell obviously played on the left side. And let me have a look. Ben Chilwell, 43rd minute. Yeah, it was Højbjerg. But then Ben Chilwell played as an LCB, and Ben Chilwell was fantastic as an LCB. The experience that he showcased was incredible. This is what Ben Chilwell had to say on beating Palace. Don't forget, Ben Chilwell was on loan to Palace last season. FA Cup winner, Ben Chilwell. An incredible night, having the full stadium, 35,000 odd people pushing us for the whole 90 minutes. They really pushed us through the game tonight. For a young group like this to show the fight that they show the fight that says a lot about the groups and what the manager expects of us. We weren't happy with the draw. We wanted to go and win the match. Fantastic. Honestly, Ben Chilwell's performance was brilliant as well. What did he end up getting? His rating 6.9. Should have been a lot more, because Ben Chilwell was fantastic. And big up to Ben Chilwell. I hope he can resurrect his career to a certain level at Strasbourg. He's been sold to Strasbourg. I don't know exactly what type of contract and whatnot, but he could potentially end up being in Champions League with Strasbourg and end up winning the Conference League with Strasbourg. So, kudos to Ben Chilwell. And I think Liam Rossignol likes Ben Chilwell, especially for the experience that he brings. Liam Rossignol on the match winner, Samir El Mourabet. It will be a night that he never forgets. He deserves it. He didn't play a minute before this season. We saw him in the academy, and the way our project means we don't fear putting young players in. He has taken his chance. I thought he and Valentin Barco, remember the name, as I said, in midfield were outstanding. He took the ball so well, and he has a bright future ahead of him if he keeps his feet on the floor. Honestly, Liam Rossignol is doing a madness. A lot of this Strasbourg player doing a madness, and Strasbourg is definitely going to be a team to look out for in the future, whether it's Champions League, whether it's Conference League right now, and whether their players develop and go elsewhere or end up coming to Chelsea. I think it's an interesting project that's happening over there, and I think Strasbourg fans should be very happy. Let me know your thoughts, Strasbourg fans, and let me know your thoughts, all other fans that have been watching. Comment below, smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Bye.